Presenting the grand reopening premiere of Sarasota Square this Thursday through Saturday with Broadway Entertainment, Foobardi Robot, fashion shows, and grand prize giveaways.
So bring your friends, bring your family. The price place to shop, Sarasota Square.
It's the Christmas season 2001. Calvin and I don't have any jingle bells on today, but a Merry Christmas to those folks who may be watching this at any time of the year, and Happy Hanukkah as well. We're well into the Hanukkah season. This is December 11th, a very special day for a lot of reasons, and I don't mind telling you that I was in an important meeting at CVPH Medical Center at 8 o'clock this morning, and we paused for a moment while whatever radio station was on in the office played our national anthem at the exact moment when the first plane hit the Twin Towers at the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2 months ago. September 11th, 3 months ago now, September 11th. It'll be a significant date for a lot of reasons, and we're not exactly sure how our September 11th Battle of Plattsburgh weekend will be going next year based on the tremendous publicity attached to the World Trade Center and all the other things that happened on that day. But that's for the future to hold. We came to Champlain Center North for a very specific reason now. We like to do things that are historical. We like to interview older people who've been around. We like to visit historical forts, houses, and places of worship, whatever it might be. And we like to think of what would it be like in 20 years when we replay this program. I wish Calvin and I had been together, although we knew each other in those days. We were not doing this program when the Pyramid Corporation came to town and opened up what is now affectionately called Champlain Center South, but boy, has that changed tremendously down through the years. And now this is Champlain Center North, or the new mall as we call it. That's not very new anymore. And when you think how much business in the Plattsburgh area and Clinton County has changed just since that time, then it gives you a pause for reflection. We now have things called superstores, a phrase that hadn't even been invented back then. Your local grocery store is not on the corner unless it's an awfully big corner. And you can, it's almost like a department store was way back when. Even the aspect of malls are changing, and someday perhaps we'll do interviews with the people who are here and managing this corporation these days to see what the future might be. How long has it been since you went shopping in this mall? How many stores that were here 10 years ago are here right now? How many stores will be here 10 years from now when this program might be shown again on your local cable system? What's happening to strip malls? What happened to downtown Plattsburgh, which began to fade away and then started bouncing back? You've seen Calvin and I and others with our little tours in the North Country when the century changed around the year 2000. We took our little tour and looked at buildings and reflected on things we remembered about them for a very good reason, because we hope in a few years down the line you'll look back on that and say, yeah, kids, that's what it was like when the century changed. And we hope that's what we'll do here today. We're going to walk around and look at the names of the stores and talk to some people who are shopping.
Stores that you thought would be around forever, they're no longer here.
And it seems like they were around for a long, long time. Many of those, in existence 50, 60 years. Merkel's in downtown Plattsburgh, for example. Whoever would dream that Merkel's department store would be closing at some point in time, and now that the Council on the Arts would be located in that building. Yeah, things do change, and one of the great reasons for us being here today is for you to look at the signs on these stores and to predict how long you think those stores will be here in the mall.
Yeah, we're not trying to put a death wish on anybody.
No, not at all, but it's very interesting how things do change. And I think our recent conversation with Kurt might have been a harbinger that some pretty exciting things could be happening with this corporation.
Yeah, we're not here, as we try to emphasize when we do these shows, we're not here to advertise for anybody. We're here for historical reasons, just like if we'd taken this camera 50 years ago and walked through downtown Plattsburgh, it would be a heck of a show to run now. And that's the purpose behind this. But just looking at the major stores that that closed here a couple of years ago, and now they're starting to fill in those vacant spaces where Service Merchandise and Steinbach's and another clothing store that I can't think of, a ladies' clothing store that was very popular. That it's an evolution, and who would have thought that the original Pyramid Mall would ever be bulldozed down and come to life under a new entity with superstores instead of what it was before.
And it's under different control now. We talked to Kurt after the camera, and he said that's a different entity over there. Now he's responsible for the so-called new mall,
Yeah.
the North Mall. It's funny how we give things names like the old base and the new base. And now I suppose we shouldn't even be saying base, but that'll be in my vocabulary forever and ever, you know.
Well, we'll get back to that old and new in just a moment, but I was thinking back to, I don't know if you ever knew Bill Pierce, who was the city engineer here. Always had colorful language.
Oh, yes.
We couldn't interview him very long on television, I think, without our beeper. But I remember when the first mall was coming in, and Bill was the engineer on that, and talking about that, and had no idea what the vision would be, and I was really impressed. But my first experience with this type of a entity here, an enclosed mall, was probably about 30, I'd say at least 30 years ago. I went to the old Forum, not the old Forum, but the old Forum, the original Forum, to buy some tickets because Lou Alcindor is going to be playing basketball there. And I came out of the Metro into Alexis Neon Plaza, and I had no idea where I was. Being a country boy, Pyramid Mall hadn't been built yet, and you walk out into this enclosed city.
Wow.
And I said, where in the heck am I?
Isn't that amazing? And now we have, underground malls in many major cities in Canada and the United States.
Yeah, but to come out of a subway into an enclosed city, it blew my
incredible.
mind. Yeah, and now I
And
feel
it's great fun to go there now. I love to walk around there. Great little shops and things. Yeah, the enclosed mall concept was completely different. But then, Calvin, you're almost old enough, and I certainly am old enough to remember when you didn't have huge grocery stores such as you have today. I mean, in the towns I grew up in, your market was a place where you walked in and said, "Give me a loaf of bread," and it was delivered to you on the counter, right? Or a pound of coffee. Somebody else used that big long arm with a collapsible fingers to grab a box of Wheaties off the top shelf, you know. You know, speaking of the different malls you've been in, some will have, for example, they have several malls are built around some kind of machine like the carousel malls that exist, where you have a small carousel. And some of the malls have taken out their carousels, but they're still called carousel malls.
it's a new one for me, I have to admit.
Yeah, carousel malls. Messina had a carousel, and they're right near their food court that was very popular for a long time. I'm not sure that it's still there. I don't think so. And different people have different ideas, and you've seen some of the giant malls of them, like the Mall of America, which is bigger than, you could put about 15 of these in the Mall of America. But it depends on the size. As Kurt said, Plattsburgh is unique in many ways.
Yeah, and unique in the fact that we just can grow trees anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
No matter where we plant them, they grow.
Isn't that neat? That's beautiful. They, a lot of people when they walk through the mall, they have a focus. They're going to a certain store, and they don't look up above to see how the natural light comes in and to realize that above us is fabric. That isn't solid, that's fabric. And to imagine how or why our crazy weather here in the North Country hasn't done serious damage to that is a tribute to the people who designed it, I would say. Also over this way, of course, Santa Claus's Village that we talked about this year, and I'm glad Vicki described what was kind of her brainchild in bringing in the Christmas Bureau to run Santa's Village this year, and all volunteer Santa Clauses and picture takers with elves and so on, and an immense success. What kid wouldn't love looking at this, huh?
Who can't remember from their childhood going to visit Santa Claus? Santa was around when you were a kid, wasn't he?
Oh, yes, he was. He was a little skinnier back then. A little different kind of suit, but he was there. I have to tell you, Calvin, that what we're doing now is really a kind of nostalgia for me. because I can remember when we lived in Westchester County in Thornwood, New York. We were about 20 miles from New York City, and every time this time of year, my father would take us into the city and we would do the window shopping. Can you imagine what it was like on Fifth Avenue and Broadway in the late 1930s and early 1940s, to look in those windows and see in Macy's window, for example, all the animated creatures for little children? It was incredible. Now, we knew we could never have any of those toys under the tree, but we didn't care. We got a chance to look at them in the process, and it was incredible.
You know, again, going back to eBay, I recently saw on there some other old catalogs, including catalogs from Christmas from different companies. And as a kid growing up, looking at the Christmas catalog was almost as fun as Christmas. Just dreaming about those things.
You put a check mark on everything in there that you liked.
Oh, yeah. There's always about 80 things.
Kids still do that. I mean, you know, I've been connected with Santa Claus in very intimate ways down through the years, as some of our viewers might know. And to listen to the requests of youngsters touches your heart in so many ways, Calvin. Kids still bring you pages out of catalogs, ads from the newspaper, lists of pages and pages. So that part of it hasn't changed. Kids are still asking for some of the same kinds of things, and I still hear lots of kids asking for train sets. Remember train sets?
Definitely. Every kid wanted a train
cowboy
set.
outfits.
No,
were
when I was a kid, you wanted to get your cowboy guns. You wanted to be Roy Rogers or Hoppy or Gene Autry. You definitely wanted the cowboy guns when I was a kid. And again, getting back to those catalogs on eBay, there were two within the last week. I just kept an eye on to see what would happen. There were two catalogs. One was a 59, one was a 67. Both Christmas catalogs. They sold as a pair for almost $40. So I told my wife, I said, there is no junk in the world. You know, there's stuff. Everything means something to somebody.
You know, it's interesting you should mention that. Your conversations with your wife must be similar to mine. Because we're recording this on December 11th, and I worked with the business and professional women to do an auction last night, which they raised several $1,000s for scholarships for Clinton Community College and for Plattsburgh State.
Yeah.
Every bit of our conversation sparks memories, and I like that, because that's the fun of having a good, full, happy life.
You're watching Sleepcore. Pleasant dreams.
Nashua Mall and Plaza, where Annie and Elaine shop. Easy to get to, easy to like. Exit 6.
Welcome to Nintendo of America and the unique Power of Choice product demonstration seminar.
Yeah, and all that. D-U-L-L, boring, man. Hey, welcome to the Nintendo team and the 1993 Holiday Demonstration Program. I'm Ben. Nice to meet you. During this holiday season, you and your store will be representing the largest manufacturer of video games in the world. You know, Nintendo. And during this thing here, with me, you'll see why 70 million other game player dudes across the world are Nintendo nutso. It's radical fun, man. Anyway, you've got 3 objectives. First, get each customer to buy the Nintendo system or accessories that no normal human could live without. You know, like help them make the right choice. Next, get the kids and the adults to get their hands on the cool demo units in your store. And third, answer all the questions the customer has about the competition. You know, technical stuff. Sounds like a lot, huh? Nah, chill. We got it all worked out. We'll help you. I got the action on all the key areas, like how to set up your Mario display and use your brochures, and everything you ever wanted to know about Nintendo's awesome product line. I'm also going to tell you how to fill out the paperwork. No. That's the good news. That's how to get some cash. You get to play games with the customers over the next month, and on top of it all, you even get a certificate of achievement, a really awesome piece of paper that tells everyone you represent a Nintendo, so you'll be like the envy of your entire neighborhood. Cool, huh? Oh, okay. Let's get started. You should have a bunch of stuff that came into the store in a big white box that this tape came out of. It has all your supplies in it. Tell them what to look for, Ed. That's the stuffy announcer type dude.
Thanks, Ben. A stand-up Mario standee display demonstration station with a checklist to match up to the contents. 100 of the following brochures for handouts to interested customers. The product line brochure covering Super NES, Game Boy, and the original NES. The Super NES brochure. Sports pages for customers interested in sports games. And 300 game tip sheets. A training binder with 5 laminated sheets in the back details all the key features and benefits of Nintendo's products. Make sure to read the binder after watching this video. There is also a game pack directory noting game release dates and other cool info. Review these sheets, they are handy reference tools. One-time available poster to be hung in your store window where you write in your schedule each workday. 2 of 4 different buttons to wear on your vest. 3 Nintendo Power Players guides for customer reference to attach to the stand-up Mario demonstration station. The Super Mario All-Stars Players Guide, the Street Fighter II Turbo Players Guide, and the Mario Paint Players Guide. 1 small screwdriver to adjust displays if needed. 1 vest and hat to wear while working on this job. 1 Nintendo keychain with 2 keys to open displays. 1 pocket information card to be carried for reference. 1 roll of Mario stickers for handouts to kids. A Super Mario All-Stars and NHL Stanley Cup Game Pack manual so you can show customers how to play the games. And 1 of 5 different banners.
Freeze! Ed, you forgot to tell them what they get for free. Bono gifts, dudes.
That's right, Ben. Our lucky demonstrators will also get to keep 1 Mario thermal travel mug and a Mario Paint pen with flashlight keychain. Mario Paint, the power to create. But that's not all. At the end of the program, they also receive the hat, the vest, the Nintendo keychain, the 2 buttons, and the stand-up Magician Mario display. All this courtesy of Nintendo, makers of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Super NES, the best play here. Now, back to you, Ben.
Thanks, Mr. Announcer, dude. Hey, here's a hot tip. When you go through the box of stuff, use a checkoff sheet in the setting up section of the binder to make it easy. You know, kind of like a shopping list. And hey, that's a lot of stuff. So if you're missing any of those supplies Ed went on and on about, check out the supply section of your training binder thing and dial the 1-800 number to get what you need. Also, sometime around December 1st, you'll get a box delivered that looks just like this. It'll have additional brochures and stuff to hand out, and it will also contain 2 new handouts, a cool Mario Paint handout and gameplay guidelines brochure that is geared more towards parents. It tells about how Nintendo has reduced violence in its games and about the strict standards they have to keep games fun for the family. Once you get all this stuff set up, your store's Nintendo area will look at least as good as this. Excellent, huh? Extra materials go in the back of your stand-up displays. Give them to any interested customer who's like on the fence about buying the goods. Now, these contaminated...
That's laminated.
Oh. Cool. That's the director. These laminated sheets and the player's guides and game pack manuals are for you to spew out great amounts of info on the Nintendo goods to the customers. So read through them. Your store may have some of these decent interactive displays too that customers can play games on. If your store has one, get familiar with it and set up your Mario display stand next to it. There's a section in the manual called Displays that covers how to adjust the volume and change out game packs and stuff. That's what your keys are for. Make sure to read about the displays in your store, and if it's not working, call the number listed in that section and let them know. Now, while on the job, feel free to dress cash, but you also gotta be professional. You can wear like pants and a nice shirt or blouse for the females, and you know, shoes and stuff are required by law. You also gotta wear the vest and the hat so everyone can see you and know you're the Nintendo answer dude. Or dudette. Always keep Pen in your pocket, some of each of these brochures and tip sheets. You can wear both buttons. Cool. You're dressed, set up, ready to rock and roll. Time to party on, Wayne.
Hey, Jeff.
Andy, heard you and Karen caught another shoplifter?
You know, Jeff, shoplifters cost Montgomery Ward millions of dollars each year.
Yeah.
But loss prevention and safety specialists do a lot more than catch shoplifters. We're also responsible for the safety of our customers and associates and for inventory.
Andy, relax. Don't be so serious. I was just kidding.
You know, he's right. I am serious about my job because it's my responsibility to protect the assets of Montgomery Ward, our merchandise, our cash, and most importantly, our associates and customers. Protecting our assets is a big job. It's so big that we need the help of everyone here at Montgomery Ward.
Andy.
Hey, Jennifer.
Do you have a minute?
Sure. Hey, thanks to you and Joey for filling in for us last Friday night.
Oh.
I hear you bowled a 182.
Well, it was just beginner's luck. Andy, I need to talk to you about something. A guy that I work with has been... you know what? I don't want to talk about this here. I have a break at 3:30. Could we meet in your office?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Thanks.
Liz, did you leave this cabinet unlocked?
I just sold something from the cabinet to a customer who was in a hurry. I was just coming back to lock it.
But didn't I remind you a few days ago to never leave a cabinet unlocked, not even for a second? I mean, how long do you think it would take for someone to reach in here and steal something?
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Look, I've got to go meet somebody. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
Poor Sarah. Now, she's a new manager. Only been on the job for about a month. Unfortunately, she's inherited a lot of problems. One of them is inventory control. I've been looking into the problem for her. I think I have some answers. Morning, Sarah.
I hope you can give me some good news, Andy.
Well, you're not missing 2 camcorders.
We aren't, but we received 4 yesterday, and we only had 2 this morning when we did our count. I mean, I know we didn't sell any. I checked.
Well, the manifest says there were 4, but only 2 were checked in. One of your associates didn't make the proper notation on the manifest.
Why didn't someone tell me? I would have called the BTDC and saved us all a lot of trouble.
And I was observing Ken the other day while he was ringing 3 pre-recorded videos. Well, instead of ringing them separately, he rang 1 3 times. You'll get a computer report on register activities tomorrow.
Anything else?
Well, yeah, I discovered why you were so short on your vacuum cleaner promotion last week. Receiving only sent up about half the merchandise. The rest was buried underneath return merchandise.
But we ran out of several SKUs before the promotion was half over. But you mean we lost all those sales because we thought we were out of stock?
I'm afraid so.
I'll track them down. You can be sure that things are going to shape up around here now that I know where the problems are. It is really too bad that just a few people can make an entire department less profitable and make extra work for everyone else.
Well, you've also got a lot of very capable people here.
No way I could manage the department without them. Hey, thanks, Andy. I really appreciate your help.
No problem. I'm just doing my job. The shortage control problems that Sarah's department is having may not seem too important, but they are. Out of stocks and other mistakes turn customers off, drive up the cost of our merchandise, and make us less competitive with other stores. Montgomery Ward has established standards to control shortages in every department in the store, like making sure that security devices are attached to merchandise and checking cables regularly to be certain they are secured. We also have standards that help protect our most important assets, our customers and associates. Now, some of these standards deal with housekeeping. Keep the floor free of clutter like this, and you'll help reduce the possibility of injury. When someone slips or trips, they can really hurt themselves. And keep the exits clear, so everyone can leave quickly if there is an emergency. Montgomery Ward has other standards that help protect our cash and merchandise. Now, some are designed to help protect us from dishonest customers who steal from us. Always be sure to check purses and luggage for hidden merchandise.
Did you want the glasses too?
Oh, I didn't even know those were in there. No, thanks.
Okay.
Now, is that a dishonest customer trying to steal our merchandise or an honest one? No matter what you think, always give the customer the benefit of the doubt. It's our policy never to accuse a customer of dishonesty. Here's another way dishonest people try to steal our merchandise.
This blouse is $9.99. Wow, that's a really good buy.
Oh, it certainly is. The jeans are clearance price, too.
Oh, I'm sorry, they're not. You know, these just came in yesterday. All of our clearance merchandise has a pink ticket. These jeans have a white ticket, which means they're at our everyday low price.
Well, why were they on the clearance rack?
Oh, you know, maybe one of our customers put them there.
Well, you should still give me the sale price. Other stores do.
No, I'm sorry, but I can't. Did you still want to purchase these?
Well, you know, I didn't really want to spend that much.
Well, I'm sure we can find several styles in your price range. Let me help you.
Okay.
Did that customer really think the jeans were on clearance? You know, you can sometimes turn a negative situation into a positive one. Now, short-change artists are people who want to steal our money. They try to confuse you, even bully you into giving them our money.
Your total is $28.71.
The change is 20 for me. That's all I got are $20 bills.
As soon as I finish this transaction. Huh? This makes 29 and 30.
I gave you 220.
I'm sure you gave me a 10 and a 20 because after...
No. I just came back from an ATM. I took $100. It's 5 $20 bills. These two, I asked you to change one, and this is all I've got left, are these two. So I'm in a hurry. Give me my change.
Sir, I never put your money in the drawer.
Look, I don't have time for this. Give me my change so I can get out of here.
Okay, please wait a moment while I phone our loss prevention and safety department.
All right, forget it.
She knew she was right because she followed the correct procedure. She waited to put the money in the drawer until after the customer accepted his change. To prevent loss, we have to think and act prevention at all times. When one person creates a diversion while the other tries to take money from the drawer, it's called till-tapping. Because the associate was observant and had closed her cash drawer, these would-be thieves weren't successful.
About a month ago, I noticed that this customer was coming in just about every day. Since he always bought something, I figured that he wasn't a shoplifter. But I got suspicious when I realized that he always waited until Rob Kovac was at the register. So yesterday, I watched them much more closely. He took 3 answering machines to the counter, but Rob only scanned the ticket on one of them. I figured the customer must have changed his mind about getting the other 2, but Rob bagged all 3. I checked the journal tape just to be sure that he'd only paid for one, and he had. He saw me watching him, so he must know that I'm suspicious, but I don't know, he must not care, because the same customer came back later and the same thing happened with cordless phones. I call that really nervy. I mean, does he think I'm just going to look the other way?
Well, Jennifer, Loss Prevention and Safety knows your department has a serious shortage problem. We suspect associate theft is the reason, and we've been watching your department closely for about a week.
Watching it? You mean, with the hidden cameras?
Yes, we're also conducting shopping tests and checking associates for underringing and unauthorized discounts to friends. We would have caught him eventually. Well, this is going to make it a lot quicker.
Will he go to jail like the guys that you caught stealing and receiving?
Well, he might. If the court finds him guilty, he's definitely going to lose his job. You see, the company comes down hard on associates who steal. It makes us less profitable.
Well, people who steal make me angry, and when it's people that I work with, I get even more upset. Because they're not just stealing from Montgomery Ward, they're stealing from me, too. Oh, I have to get back to work here.
You know, Jennifer, I'd like to take action on this report.
All right.
I'm sure you already know about the cash award.
The cash award?
Yes, it's part of the Profit Partner Recognition Program.
Oh, I remember reading about it somewhere, but I guess I didn't pay much attention to it.
Let me tell you about the program. As I explained to Jennifer, the Profit Partner and Recognition Program acknowledges associates who take action or provide information that helps protect our assets. When that information leads to the apprehension and termination of a dishonest associate, the reporting associate receives $250 in cash and 10% of all recoveries. You can earn cash bonuses for other types of contributions to the Profit Partner Program too, including pointing out unsafe conditions that could lead to an accident and identifying paperwork issues that cause shrinkage. The smallest cash incentive a Profit Partner can earn is a $10 gold medallion, and the largest is $2,000. Ask your facility manager or loss prevention and safety manager for details.
You're watching Sleepcore, media for insomnia.
It's Christmas at Bayshore Shopping Center. Step up in style.
Santa's Castle. Free parking. And now open Monday through Saturday till 10 p.m., Sundays noon till 6.
Celebrate with Bayshore Shopping Center. Get that Christmas feeling. It's Christmas at Bayshore Shopping Center. Step up in style. Step up in style.
Catch Midnight Madness Friday.
Now, even toy mavens have to sleep sometimes, right? Wrong. No naps allowed on May 3rd because 1 minute past midnight, the Brandon Toys R Us store would open its doors. The occasion? The debut of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace toy line. Despite the sign out front, there were multiple toy items going on sale. The employees were getting ready for the legions of figure-starved rebels outside. Battle droids had to be assembled, end caps had to be accessorized, and boxes of figures and toys had to find their place. Even yours truly pitched in. But would everything be set to blast the doors open at 12:01 a.m.? Hey, we're talking Toys R Us here. Outside, the crowd knew what they wanted.
Star Wars figures. You gotta have them, they're coming out.
I'm here for the smiling Darth Maul.
Let's go. I'm mainly looking for the figures. I think there'll be plenty of those to go around.
Darth Maul. I want to check out Darth Maul. He's going to be the new king.
The line stretched down the sidewalk. Every Jedi was anxious for their first glimpse at the new characters and especially the inflatable rafts. A few shared their battle strategies.
I plan to, elbow people out of the way. No, we're going to be nice and, Jedi-like and just let people go by.
She's actually going to hurl me over everybody else. We're going to do kind of a Shaolin Kung Fu technique that we've been practicing all week. It's going to be very entertaining.
Others in line summed up the universal appeal of Star Wars to every generation.
I'd say because it's based on mythology. You're talking about a story that has heroes and villains, and it's not just science fiction, it's about people.
Mike McCoy was the first in line and made a few promises to get there.
Oh, my wife, she and I, we had to work out a budget. So we sat down and figured out, okay, how much can you spend, and you don't spend anything above that, otherwise I'm in a lot of trouble when I go home tonight.
So the price stickers were stamped, the Legos were logged, and the battle droids were perched on his lookout. It was 0 hour.
Here we go. Hey, the first one. The first one, where is it?
All right. I don't even care. Just give me a toy.
The action figure aisle filled up quicker than mud wrestling night at Jabba's Palace.
It's a little bigger than I thought it was going to be since it was midnight. They're all real friendly and they're polite and they're taking their turns, no pushing or shoving or anything.
First thing I grabbed was one of these. Cheaper than KB.
Of course, the trick was to see how much you could carry out without a basket. Some had it down.
Yeah, got it, man.
Some didn't.
I'm the official holder. Hello. We got a bunch of stuff. Okay, thank you. Go get a cart.
Some of the merchandise looked like it was from a galaxy far, far away. Hey, what is that thing anyway?
I have no idea. Some 3D thing.
From the rookie pilots on hand to Gold Leader, they all got what they were after. A chance at adventure and excitement the old-fashioned way.
by saying, charge it.
I know we had at least 9,000 pieces out there.
I did good. I cleaned up, got what I was looking for, got some surprises.
You know, can't go to work without the lightsaber pens.
I believe our store is one of the largest, if not the largest, supplier of Star Wars items right now, and we're going to continue to do everything we can to make sure that the customers are satisfied and we keep getting more in.
88.46, so I think I'll be able to sleep, you know, in bed tonight.
As the figures emptied out and the sales were tallied up, John Gatto shared his secret for mixing the oil and water combination of collecting and relating to the opposite sex.
I'm very privileged to have a fiance that loves me either because of my geekness or in spite of it. So,